So which answer was it that you chose? The snacks, the alcohol, or the mirror? That's right, it was the mirror. Here is a message that was found on the back of the mirror, clearly designed to be reflected into the mirror. Okay, so it's clearly time for that all-important second big hint of the challenge. Well done so far. Here's your final hint before you start the next clue. Often when you go into the shops during the January sales, or any time at Sports Direct, you will see loads of percentage off stickers and cards. Most people just see a big number and think, great savings! But often the deal is not that brilliant. Well, no need to wonder if it is or it isn't anymore, as that's what we're going to look at now. The first method of calculating some percentages is probably the way most people will have learned at school, and is great if you have a calculator or if you're really good at timetables, or when the numbers are not whole numbers, as was the case many years ago when VAT was set at the yucky number of 17.5%. Okay, enough of that. This challenge has nothing to do with accountancy, don't worry. Maybe using a calculator could be one method for finding out an answer. For example, if you had £200 with a 50% increase, it would be 200 into the calculator times by 150 and then the percent button, giving you the 300. So what method might we use if we say that the starting price is 120 and we want to show a 20% decrease in price? In this case, it might be easier to find the value of the percentage change. Firstly, by calculation of 1%, as 1 divided by 100 gives you 1% as a decimal, and then multiplied by the original price to tell us what 1% is, which in this case is £1.20. We could then multiply it by the needed percentage for change rate, or find the full 20% by dividing 20% into 100 and then timesing that by the starting price to give us the £24 that can then be added or taken away from the original price dependent on whether it is an increase or decrease. But there is another way that doesn't need a calculator and can be used to estimate awkward numbers or find the right answer for straightforward and fast ones. I'm guessing that most people watching this would feel fairly confident multiplying by 10. And if this is the case, brilliant. You have almost everything you need for this next bit. So when we multiply by 10, step 1 is normally add a 0, right? But what if you want to divide by 10 and the number doesn't end in 0? You can't just chop bits off. The answer is something we see every day, and that is decimal points. Because if we remember that whole numbers have a decimal point after the units, as they do with money, it makes it easier to see that dividing and multiplying any number by 10 is just moving the decimal point. Right one place to increase and left to decrease, or forward and backwards if that makes more sense to you. The same is true if you want to divide or multiply by 100. You would only need to move the decimal point 2 places each time instead. So now we can create something called a ratio table, which is how I calculate this in my head. For this example, I will fill out the information as if we're still working with the figure £120. You might want to take note of these results just to give an example for while you're working on the next clue, but there's no need to if you don't want to. You can always whiz back on the video a little bit. Okay, well that should be all you need for now, so let's move on to your clue. Here we found a medical report, so please check it out and see if you can solve the clue. Here might be a good point to pause the video, as coming up soon is your on-screen video choice. Well, you now have a choice of 3 options: sodium, potassium, or protein. Which one are you going to go for? It's got to be one of them. I'm not giving you 4 options, you've only got 3: sodium, potassium, or protein. Make your choice now.